Look at this now. Mr. Naveen, aged 40 years. So at this stage, what can we conclude? That he is not a senior citizen. Okay. Then the question says he is engaged in manufacturing business. In your syllabus, if assessee is into manufacturing business, only one extra point, and that is additional depreciation. See, generally in income tax, if you see, manufacturing assessees have many special points. But in our syllabus, if assessee is into manufacturing, only one extra point, which is additional depreciation. He follows mercantile system of accounting, okay, not cash basis of accounting. Details pertaining to his business for the year ending 31st March 24 is as under. Capital receipts, turnover, amount received in cash out of turnover, amount received in cash out of capital receipts. Now listen to me. See, if I talk about 44AB, 44AB third situation says that cash receipt has to be within 5% of total receipts and cash payments has to be within 5% of total payments. If I think about section 44AD, presumptive taxation, if you want to apply the 3 crore limit, then the cash receipt has to be within 5% of the total turnover. If you want to apply the 2 crore limit, cash receipt has to be more than 5% of the turnover. Now here if you see, what are the cash receipts? See, amount received in cash out of turnover is 8 lakhs and out of capital receipts is 2 lakhs. This is the information which they've given to you. Now, if you're thinking from 44AD point of view, tell me which out of these two conditions will apply. Will 3 crore limit apply or will 2 crore limit apply? See, what are the cash receipts? The cash receipts over here are 8 lakhs. Okay. And what's a turnover? The turnover is 2.80 crore. So this is going to be what percentage? This is going to be only 2.86%. So cash receipt is within 5% of the turnover. So what's the limit applicable under 44AD for the assessee? 3 crore limit is applicable. We're understanding. Did you notice when I was checking the cash receipts number, I took only 8 lakhs. I did not consider capital receipts. I did not consider out of capital receipts how much is a cash receipt. I did not consider because 44AD says cash receipt should be within 5% of turnover. So you're not looking at total receipts. For the purpose of 44AD, in simple words, listen carefully. For the purpose of section 44AD, capital receipts are useless. Understanding? Now you got the point. When you're doing 44AD calculation, here capital receipts are going to be useless for you. They are going to be irrelevant for you. So I just saw total turnover is 2.8 crores. Out of that, 8 lakhs is received in cash. So 8 lakhs is only 2.86%. It is within 5%. So therefore, 3 crore limit will apply. Okay. But however, if you're looking at 44AB, tax audit thinking if you're doing, here you're looking at cash receipt, is it within 5% of total receipts? So here you will consider capital receipts also you will consider because here you're looking at total receipts and not just turnover. Is it making sense to you? Did you follow this point? Did you understand this point? Yes. So under 40, so this is why I was stressing upon this point again and again that in 44AD you're looking at 5% of turnover. So which means in 44AD your capital receipt points are going to be literally useless for you. You will look at only the turnover point. But in 44AD you're looking at total receipt. Total receipt indicates you are looking at capital receipts as well. Did you get this point? So this was your first big learning that when you're calculating 44AD, when you're looking at the limits, you will consider only turnover. You will not consider capital receipts. When you're calculating for 44AB, the 10 crore condition if you are considering, if you're calculating for 44AB, you will consider total receipts. You will include capital receipts also. Okay. Now look at what else the question says. Amount received through account payee check or NEFT, other prescribed mode, on or before the specified due date under 139(1) is 2.5 crores. So basically total turnover is 2.8 crores. No, out of that 8 lakhs is received in cash, and 2.5 crore they have received through account pay check or NEFT. So this I can say is specified mode, guys. So this is amount received in specified mode on or before 139(1) due date. So basically this is at 6% point. No, don't you think this exactly fits in under this category? It is received in specified mode within 139(1) due date. So 6% is what you will calculate of this portion of the turnover to get your PGBP. Then, so all this till here was about receipts. Now they've spoken about payments. So total payment is 1.6 crores. Cash payment is 9 lakhs. So what is the cash payment percentage? So cash payment is 9 lakh divided by total payment of 1.6 crores into 100. This is going to be what percentage? Calculate. This is going to be 5.625 percentage, guys. So cash payments, if you see, cash payments are more than 5% of total payments. Okay. And then net profit as per books of accounts they have given. Then analysis of profit and loss for the year ended on 31st March revealed the following information. Salary includes wages of 15,000 per month paid to one security guard and two housekeeping staff in cash. So obviously section 40A subsection 3 comes into the picture over here. We are paying more than 10,000 rupees in a day to a person in non-specified mode. In cash. Cash is of course non-specified mode. It is more than 10,000, 15,000 we are paying. So more than 10,000 in a day we are paying. To a person we are paying more than 10,000. So therefore under 48.3 it's going to be disallowed. So what's going to be a total 48.3 disallowance? 15,000 into 12. And we're paying this to how many people? One security guard and two housekeeping staff. So totally to to 3 people. So total disallowance is going to be 5,40,000. Right, guys? Because more than 10,000 we've made the payment in non-specified mode. Then so this is going to be disallowed. Okay. Then after that, other admin expenses include 70,000 paid in cash. Payment in a day is less than 8,000. Are you noticing? They're trying to literally play with us under 48.3, same 48.3. So they're saying other admin expenses include 70,000 paid in cash. Had they stopped over here, I would have said, oh, 70,000, more than 10,000, paid in cash, paid in non-specified mode. Come on, disallow. I would have said that straight away. But see what they've given in brackets. Payment in a day is less than 8,000. So in a day to a person, has it exceeded 10,000, guys? No, payment in a day is less than 8,000, which means payment per day is within 10,000, guys. So if you're paying up to 10,000 in a day, I don't care in what mode you are paying. Total you might have paid more than 10,000. But in a day, did you exceed 10,000? No. So therefore, this point, there's going to be no disallowance. You're understanding, everybody? Yes. Then look at the third point over here. Interest charges includes interest payable on loan to Kamal 70,000 rupees. TDS has not been deducted. Loan was taken for business purpose. So this is nothing but again section 40A 1A, guys. The section which says that if you are incurring any expense, it can also be salary expense, any expense, and TDS is applicable on that particular expense, all right? And also, who is the other party? The other party is a resident and you are making the payment in India. All right, if all these 3 conditions are fulfilled, then you have 2 responsibilities. Responsibility number 1 is that you have to deduct the tax. When are you supposed to deduct the tax? You're supposed to deduct the tax in the previous year. And responsibility number 2, after deducting the tax, you're supposed to remit the tax. And when are you supposed to remit the tax? You're supposed to remit the tax within the applicable section 139(1) due date. Right, guys? So you have 2 responsibilities. Now, out of these 2, if even one responsibility, if you don't fulfill, then 30% of the expense alone is going to be disallowed. But don't worry, assessee. This is a temporary disallowance. Later, whenever you fulfill both the responsibilities, again, it's going to be allowed for you. Now, here, check are the conditions fulfilled. Condition number 1, is it an expense? Yes, assessee has incurred interest expense. Is TDS applicable? See, guys, it is interest. So yes, TDS is applicable. And the other party has to be a resident and in India. I'm assuming even this condition is fulfilled. So if all these three conditions are fulfilled, then 40A1A is applicable. If 40A1A is applicable, I'm putting two responsibilities on the assessee: deduct tax and remit the tax. The question says over here very clearly, tax was not deducted. So first responsibility itself was not fulfilled. So even if one responsibility is not fulfilled, 30% of the expense is going to be disallowed. So how much are you going to disallow over here? 70,000 into 30% you're going to disallow. That is 21,000 will be disallowed under 40A1A. Alright everybody. So this was my entire discussion of the question. Now let's see the points one by one. The first point is saying, is Mr. Naveen eligible to declare income on presumptive basis under the provisions of Income Tax Act? See guys, they're asking us about presumptive basis. There are totally 3 sections under presumptive basis. 3 sections guys. Number 1, you have section 44AD for presumptive taxation. Then you have 44ADA for presumptive taxation. And then you have 44AE. See, 44ADA will not apply because assessee is not a professional, assessee is carrying on business. 44AE will not apply because assessee is not in the business of plying, hiring, leasing goods carriages. So the only presumptive taxation section which you can think about is section 44AD. Now 44AD, I have already given you thorough knowledge. Yes guys, think about the conditions. What are the conditions I told you? First condition, assessee has to be a resident individual or HUF or partnership firm. See, is the assessee a resident? The question does not say anything. So I'll assume he's a resident and he is an individual. So condition 1 fulfilled. Then what is the second condition guys? Second condition, assessee must be carrying on business. It should not be agency business. It should also not be the business of plying, hiring, leasing goods carriages. Of course fulfilled guys. Assessee is a manufacturer. Third condition, assessee should not be claiming 10AA. Also, assessee should not be claiming Chapter 6A Part C. Yes, assessee is not claiming either of the two. Assessee does not have a unit in SEZ and no 80JJAA, no 80QQB, no 80RRB. Fulfilled. Fourth condition, turnover has to be within 3 crore or turnover has to be within 2 crore. When do you apply the 3 crore limit? You will apply the 3 crore limit if the cash receipt is within 5% of turnover or receipt. 5% of turnover or 5% of total receipt. 5% of turnover. Is it within 5% of turnover? But if cash receipt is more than 5% of turnover, then 2 crore limit guys. Now here tell me which of the two limits will apply. Is the cash receipt within 5% of turnover? We already did that checking guys. We said that in 44AD, I am looking only at turnover. I am not looking at capital receipts. We ignored capital receipts and we considered only these two numbers and it was only 2.86%. It was within 5%. So which means which situation will apply to us? 3 crore limit guys. So is assessee's turnover within 3 crore? Yes, it is within 3 crore. Now did you understand? Yes, everybody. So all my conditions are fulfilled. Therefore, they'll come to 44AD. So they are asking us over here, is Mr. Naveen eligible to declare income on presumptive basis? Yes, 44AD is applicable to the assessee. So the answer can definitely not be no, either option B or option C. Option B says yes, since aggregate cash receipts during the year do not exceed 5% of total amount received. No, it should not be total receipt. It should be only turnover. So not this point as well. Then let's see option C. Yes, since amount received in cash, that is cash receipt, does not exceed 5% of turnover. This is correct. In 44AD, I only look at turnover. I don't look at total receipt. So the only difference between option B and option C is option B is talking about total receipt. Option C is talking only about turnover. So we know very well in 44AD, in presumptive taxation, we consider only the turnover. We don't consider total receipts. Total receipts we consider only in 44AB. That got it. Taro, yes, come on. Let's go to the second situation now. What would be your answer to MCQ 1? To same MCQ 1, what would be your answer? Assuming for the purpose of answering this MCQ, and MCQ 3. So for this MCQ and MCQ 3, for these two MCQs, we have to assume that Naveen has additionally received 10 lakhs by way of cross-check. What did I tell you? I told you that for the purpose of 44AB, 44AD and 44ADA, for these three sections, cash receipts means I am not only talking about receipts in cash, I am also talking about those receipts which I received in check, any check which is not account pay check. So here if you see, I have received 10 lakhs by way of crossed check. So cross check is any check other than account pay check. So even 10 lakhs will be considered as what, guys? Even 10 lakhs will be considered as cash receipts. So what will be your answer to MCQ1 if even 10 lakhs is under cash receipts? So guys, come on, let's again recheck now. Again, if I look at these conditions, of course, my first three conditions are fulfilled. I only have to check my fourth condition, guys. So fourth condition, will 3 crore limit apply or will 2 crore limit apply? It depends upon cash receipt. Now, what are the cash receipts of the assessee? Also, you know very well, I'm checking 44AD. I will look at only turnover. I will not look at total receipts. I will not look at capital receipts. I will not look at capital receipts. I will only look at turnover. You know that. So what are the cash receipts of the assessee in the second MCQ? We already have this cash receipt of 8 lakhs. In addition, they are saying that 10 lakhs is received by crossed check. And we know any check which is not account pay check will also be considered as cash receipt. So even that 10 lakh which is cross check will be considered as cash receipt. So total cash receipt is 18 lakhs, guys. So 18 lakhs divided by total turnover is 2.8 crores. So 18 lakhs by 2.8 crores into 100. What's the percentage? Do and see. 18 lakh divided by 2 crore, 80 lakh into 100, you will get 6.43% this time, guys. 6.43%. So now what are you saying? This is more than 5%. So because it is more than 5%, this 2 crore limit will apply. Now, is turnover within 2 crore? No, turnover is 2 crore 80 lakhs. Turnover is not within 2 crore. So, this is the limit applicable. Turnover is not within 2 crore. Fourth condition is not fulfilled. So, therefore, 44AD will not apply. Understanding. Very interesting question, guys. Gives you a 360 degrees understanding of this section. Cash receipt is more than 5% of turnover. Cash receipt is 6.43%. So therefore 2 crore turnover limit will apply. Turnover is more than 2 crore. So therefore 44AD will not apply. So will 44AD apply? The answer is no. So it can be any of the four. We'll have to read them all. No, since turnover of Mr. Naveen exceeds the limit of 2 crore. Yes, this does sound right. No, since aggregate cash receipts during the year exceed 5% of turnover, even this is right. We are looking at just turnover. So, cash receipts is exceeding 5% of turnover, yes. Then, no, as cash payments during the year exceed 5%. Tell me, in 44AD, do I look at cash payments, guys? No, we look at only cash receipts. So cash payments are irrelevant for me. So no, due to both A and B. Yes, both A and B. So my correct answer is option D. Both A and B are correct. So because of both A and B, that is turnover is more than 2 crore. Also cash receipt is more than 5%. So therefore 44AD tax audit is not applicable. Answer is option D. Alright, so this is your second question. Now come to the third question. Third question is asking us, is Mr. Naveen required to get his books of accounts audited? So they're asking us about tax audit, section 44AB, guys. 44AB, what did I tell you? Don't jump to any situation. Go step by step. We'll go one by one in the same sequence. Point number 1. Is 44AD applicable? But assessee does not want to apply 44AD and total income is more than basic exemption limit. See, just now we read over here, no, that we have to assume that 10 lakh rupees cross check, this particular point is for this MCQ and MCQ3. So which means even for the purpose of MCQ3 also 44AD will not apply, because you're saying that a crossed check is 10 lakhs. So therefore cash receipt is more than 5%. This is also for MCQ3. So for MCQ3 also my answer is 44AD is not applicable. So is 44AD applicable but assessee doesn't want to apply? No. This situation is not applicable because we've already concluded 44AD is not applicable to the assessee. Why 44AD is not applicable? Because cash receipt is more than 5%. Because cash receipt is more than 5% of the turnover, 2 crore limit will apply for turnover, and turnover is more than 2 crore. So therefore 44AD, fourth condition not fulfilled. So 44AD is not applicable. First situation will not apply. 44AE will anyways not apply. So what do we have to think about the third condition? Is cash receipt within 5% of total receipt and is cash payment within 5% of total payment? Here if you see, cash receipt I will include, capital receipt also I will include. But I don't even have to do all that hard work because cash payment I have already done the calculation and kept. If you see cash payment, it is more than 5% of the total payments, guys. So is it within 5%? No, this condition is not fulfilled. So only if both are fulfilled, only then we enter into the third step, right? But one of these conditions is not fulfilled. So therefore third situation also is not applicable. Are you noticing? I'm going one by one. I'm not skipping any step. So third situation is also not applicable. Why third situation is not applicable? Did you understand? Because cash payments are more than 5%. I don't even have to do the hard work of calculating cash receipts. If I had to do the hard work, you know very well that even capital receipts I would have considered, because here I'm talking about total receipts. But I don't even have to do that hard work because cash payment is so straightforward over here. Cash payment is more than 5%. More than 5% of total payments. So this condition is not fulfilled. Third situation also dustbin. So what are we left with now? Fourth situation. Is turnover more than 1 crore, guys? Yes, turnover is 2.8 crore. Yes, turnover is more than 1 crore. So 44AB will apply. Got it, everybody? So let's see what is our answer over here. The answer is yes. So therefore, it cannot be option A, cannot be option D. So option A or option B, let's read. Yes, since amount received in cash exceeds 5% of turnover. Guys, 44AB, are you looking at 5% of turnover? No, you're looking at 5% of total receipts. No, 5% of total receipts. So here they're talking only about turnover. This we talk about only in 44AD, not in 44AB. Remember, 44AB is 5% of total receipts. 44AD is 5% of just turnover. Okay, and then lastly, yes, since cash payments during the year exceed 5% of aggregate payments. This is the reason. This is what we identified. No, that cash payment is more than 5%. This condition is not fulfilled. So yes, because cash payment is more than 5% of the total payments. All right, so this is your third question. Now come to the fourth question. What is the amount of profits and gains of business chargeable to tax as per books of accounts? As per books of accounts means what? As per books of accounts means without applying 4480, normal PGBP they're asking. That's going to be pretty simple, guys. We've already spoken about the allowances and disallowances. See, what is the assessee's net profit? Net profit is 10,50,000. And what are the disallowances? We've already spoken about it. So here we're going to disallow 5,40,000 under 48.3. Second situation, we said there's going to be no disallowance because per day is not exceeding 10,000. Third situation, we've already concluded 21,000 we're going to disallow because 40A money. So here we're going to disallow 21,000. So total PGBP of the assessee as per the normal provisions is going to be 16 lakhs 11,000. 16 lakhs 11,000, which is option B. Following. Yes, so C, D. Yeah, so C, D, and then we had C again, and then 16,11,000. Then comes the last point. What is the amount of profits and gains of business chargeable to tax if he does not want to get his books of accounts audited? Does not want to get his books of accounts audited. Remember, I told you, no tax audit. That is a benefit if you follow 44AD. See, I'll take you back. If you follow 44AD, one of the benefits is no tax audit. That is what they are saying. They are saying assessee does not want to get tax audit done, which means assessee has to follow presumptive taxation. So under 44AD, what is a PGBP? They're asking. And what did I tell you? How will we compute? I gave you one flow chart. Remember, I will see what is a total turnover. Total turnover is how much? 2 crore 80 lakhs. So 2.8 crores, I'll call it as 280 lakhs. Out of this, I will just see how much is received on or before 139(1) due date in specified mode. How much is received on or before 139(1) due date in specified mode? 2.5 crores. I can call this as 250 lakhs. And balance turnover. Balance turnover, I don't care. How received, when received, I don't care. Entire balance turnover on one side. So 250 lakhs into 6% will be 15 lakhs. 30 lakhs into 8% will be 2,40,000. So here your total PGBP will be 17 lakhs 40,000, which will be here, option A. 17 lakhs 40,000. Understanding? Are you noticing? Very easy with this flow chart, guys. See the total turnover. Okay. Out of the total turnover, how much is received in specified mode within 139(1) due date? Of that, 6%. Entire balance turnover, 8%. So this was your first case study based MCQ. All right. A very good question. Covers 44AB and 44AD so much in depth